Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of November, right through the end of December 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Scorpio, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get your overarching energy first and then follow it with the rest of the cards just to see what the details are of your career and finance situation at this time. But I'm definitely feeling from the guide chimes that a lot of you, there's a flurry of activity, a lot of hard work, perhaps a final push as you close out the year. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but you know, we are coming to the end of 2025 very shortly there, and this reading is going to encompass that energy, of course, as well. But I also felt this energy that it's like working extra hours, okay? Because the guide chimes, when they should have stopped, because they kind of came to an end there, suddenly there was more activity. So either some of you will be asked to stay a little bit later in the office if you work in the office, or if you work in a certain industry, you may actually take it upon yourself to work a little bit extra to get ahead of yourself in some way, or you may be optimizing your time and in some way perhaps even taking a night shift or seasonal work in some way. That's something that some of you may be contemplating at this time. I just felt there was something extra that perhaps you are spending your time and your focus on over the next coming weeks and months. For some of you, it could be you launching something new or doing something new that requires you to squirrel yourself away and limit any distractions there. Yeah, it feels like something new. We got the Fool card there as your protagonist energy, but this is an energy of you, you know, being in the flow and maybe even taking more risks. I'm seeing a dice in the water there, so being more spontaneous in your career, or perhaps you've just had an idea that you feel is a little bit bold, daring, different, and you're not sure how it's going to work out, but actually I feel like you're taking some first steps towards it and you're going to embark on something new. I mean, even if you run your own business, this could be the final launch of something before you close out the year. So I definitely see you looking at new ways of working, new practices, but also kind of really excited about 2026 in some way, because I feel a lot of you may be like way over 2025, even though it's not quite finished yet. I feel a lot of you are focused on your blueprints, as it were. I'm seeing in the water as well a blueprint, plans in motion that perhaps are setting you up for the year ahead. But I definitely see here that you're very goal-oriented. You are taking a lot of action here. We got the Justice card, all that hard work, the extra hours, the extra effort. I feel it's going to really pay off for you there as well. You know, the Justice card can also indicate legalities or legal paperwork, signing contracts, you know, looking at the flow, optimizing your energy, being organized, structured, productive, remaining on course, but also adjusting the way that you work, maybe to factor something new in, but also it can be that you're managing your time in order to make sure that you methodically, complete your tasks and move towards gradual improvement in your working environment. Also, I see a lot of you optimizing your workflow in order to, spend a little bit more time on health and safety in the working environment and mindfulness. I feel a lot of you have been under pressure, okay? And a lot of you may have felt, especially since the Wheel of Fortune is in the resistance position, but you know what? It's going to go into the upright. A lot of you may have felt there's been a lot of chaotic energy or disruptive energy this year, or that things have been at a pace that was perhaps unmanageable, where you always felt that you had to chase up on people or perhaps chase the clock, as it were, try and get ahead of yourself, or you're always in a rush there. I feel like it's going to be easier. The pace is going to be more simplified as you move into December and beyond. And there's actually a nice little surprise for you in the career or working environment, something that you will look at as, it's almost like you're very practical. Most people would say that was a major win, a success, something to celebrate. And you're like, you know what? I worked really hard for this. So I'm actually seeing an award here. Okay, it looks like an award. It's a golden, what looks like a shield. Okay, so this could be like a badge of honor. All your hard work is like you're wearing it like a badge of honor, that you went above and beyond in your career, and now there's some sort of reward coming in, because it just feels with this Justice card that you deserve this. It's like justice, finally. You put so much effort in, and now there is a nice reciprocal exchange. Most people would celebrate this, but I really feel like, you know what? I worked hard. Let's get on to the next. There's a very practical energy about this. I would just say, give yourself a moment to pause, reflect, and really celebrate the wonderful you. You've been showing up for yourself, bringing your A game every single day, pushing on through, even through the challenges, even when it has been tough going, when you felt exhausted and tired, and a lot of you may feel like that. I feel like the next coming weeks, you can have more energy, more drive, more focus. And I feel a lot of you could be taking stock of a difficult situation and figuring out how to deal with the next steps. I definitely see a lot of you are calculating the next couple of weeks ahead, scheduling in tasks, responsibilities, refining your goals. And with the Fool card, this is an energy of keeping things fresh, but also wanting a little bit more adventure. Some of you are launching a new way of working, or perhaps you've got new projects coming in that are exciting you, maybe new opportunities. For some of you, if you've been out of work and you've been searching for a role, I feel a lot of you have been searching for a long time. I'll get the details of what's going on there for you, but I do see a new contract coming in. It's going to be out of the blue. I feel it is a fresh new start. You're returning to work in some way. And with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel it's a lucky break, but there's a lot of independence there with this energy as well. I'm actually seeing in the water, there's a lot of images coming out for you straight away. So already we've had like a blueprint of plans in motion, strategizing for the year ahead. You're always like in the chess game of life, my beautiful Scorpio. You're always thinking about your next move when it comes to your career or your working environment or life in general, and also an award, a shield. I mean, this could literally mean some of you are going to win an award or have some sort of bursary or some sort of acknowledgement that you've done a good job, a token of appreciation, perhaps. For some of you, this could be, a shield indicates protection. In a golden shield, it could be that you're protecting your finances or protecting your position in your working environment. Some of you, though, may be keeping your eyes peeled for new opportunities. But if you're definitely out of work right now and you're searching for a new role, Fool card is a new start. Spring in your step there. A lot of you could be migrating your skills into a different area and learning new skills on the go. But we've got that Justice card energy, which means a contract is signed. And with the Wheel of Fortune there, I feel it is a lucky break after a long period of feeling that things have been out of your control or you've been stuck in a rut in some way. I definitely see that there is better luck to come in your working environment. Now, if you work for yourself, the Fool card can indicate new ideas or a fresh launch of something. So it could be, as I said, one more move before you close out the year, something extra to leave on a high. Also, I feel a lot of you, this is a period whether you work in a company for other people or work for yourself. This could be a period where you're purchasing new tools or looking at deals, discounts in order to get some new tools, whether these are tangible things that you utilize for your working environment, or whether they are software programs, laptops, or, online services, electronics in some way. I feel a lot of you could be looking at embarking on learning how to use them, or purchasing them now so that you get the deals now before you move into the year ahead. But it says here, in order to succeed, you must find new ways to bring about the achievement of your goals. So a lot of you, whether you work for yourself or whether you work in a company, you may be trialing new ways of doing things that are more efficient, more organized, more disciplined. These could be tools, filing or organizing. They could be apps, for example, or just a new schedule, a new way of running your business. Some of you could actually change the way that you work. These could be hours that you're scheduling. For some of you, if you normally work during the day, it could be that you are deciding to work in the afternoon or the evening. For some of you, it could be the other way around. So please apply it to your situation. It just feels like something is shifting in your working environment. You're going to have more energy. I feel a lot of you are looking at the way that you work and trying to have a little more fun with it. You're someone who's very serious when it comes to your goals and dreams. And, I feel a lot of you just want to kick back and relax. You're still going to be focused on your goals. You're going to get a lot done, but I feel like you're kind of relaxing into something, or you're approaching it with a different energy. You're kind of like going, okay, I'm giving everything I've got, but I'm going to see how it goes. You're not going to put extra pressure on yourself. I feel a lot of you are trying to manage pressure there, and you're doing exactly what you need to do in order to move forward. But with full card energy, this is an exciting time where you may take a risk on a new idea, or you may spontaneously do something that really monumentally affects your industry or your success in some way. And I feel this could be the first step towards something. It almost feels like a lot of you could be launching something extra on the side as well, something that perhaps you've had in motion for a long time, or you've had a plan to do it. It can be that it coincides with what you do already. So it doesn't mean that you're like leaving one position to move into another position, although some of you maybe. We'll get the rest of the cards and see what happens there for you. But a lot of you may be launching something as a secondary role. So for some of you, it could be seasonal work at this time that brings in extra finances. You're going to have a lot of fun at that. You're going to be exhausted, but I feel like the nature of the extra role, it's something new, it's exciting, and I feel like you really enjoy it. It's a nice complement to what you do. The Justice card is a card of duality, which means something that complements or co-aligns with what you do already. So it can be that, you're doing one thing and something else on the side. It could be a side hustle, it could be a hobby that's making money for you. It's really going to take off. There's a flurry of activity. I feel like you're going to be super busy there, okay? But I feel a new pathway is actually opening up for you in the coming weeks and months there. And it's time. It's the right moment. And I feel some of you could be setting something up legally. Could be a legal structure, or signing paperwork, contracts, or agreements at this time. A lot of you are also focused on filing and getting everything organized as you close out the year there as well, okay? But I definitely see here that you are looking at your goals, trying to remain in the flow there as well. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it is in the resistance position, but it will go into the upright. So a lot of you may have felt like your schedule has been disrupted in some way, or things have been chaotic. You may have even felt a little bit stuck in a rut. Same old thing, just a different day. You want to keep it fresh with that full card energy. So even if you stay where you're at, you're just trying out new ideas or brainstorming a way to keep excited about what you do, because you're a pro at what you do. I see a lot of you upskilling as well, learning new things, or being open to learn new things. I feel like you're totally open. There's this energy of like, I'm open to prosperity. I'm open to more prosperity and finances, of course, because this is, a reading about your money as well. I feel there could be a nice surprise when it comes to your finances. Now, for some of you, if you work in an industry where you've invested in something in the past, whether it's a creative role that you get royalties from, or perhaps you get commission on something that perhaps you secured a deal a couple of months ago, For some of you, it could be a tax rebate. I feel something from your past is going to give you money or give you some sort of prosperity in your present. This is going to come as a surprise. It's a nice surprise. For some of you, this could also be that you've been holding out. If you work for a company where they give some sort of benefit or bonus, you may have been holding out to get that bonus, working really hard in order to achieve it. Suddenly, it is bestowed upon you. The Justice card, it tells me that, you get what you deserve there. The Justice card is a balanced outcome. It is like an impartial kind of energy. Of course, deep down, you know that you worked extra, you went above and beyond. So you may be like, it could have been more. Would have been nice if it was more, but you accept the nature of it being like balanced, okay? There's an energy of impartiality there with this. So if you're getting a bonus, it could be something that has a certain limit. Let me describe what I mean. I don't work for a company like this, okay? Most companies these days can't give bonuses. The economy is really struggling right now. But if you work in a company that gives bonuses, for example, if you're at a certain level, there may be a tier of finances that you get, right? And it can be that you get a certain portion of your normal paycheck, for example, and you get a percentage of that as a bonus or a token of appreciation. Now, you know that you deserve more, but I feel like you get what is a fair amount there in accordance with that tier. But there may be talk about, because I feel appraisal energy with the Justice energy, this can be a conversation between two people about the progress you're making and where you want to take things to next, especially if you work for a company. There can be this acknowledgement in the interview or the review process, the appraisal, that you deserve more. But right now, more is not available. So they're giving you a certain amount and they're opening up avenues for more in your future. So I feel if you work for a company, you could have a very interesting conversation about progression in a company, more responsibilities, and new contracts coming in. Okay, if you work for a company as well and there's a merge going on, be mindful there could be some new contracts coming in for everyone to sign. Make sure you read the fine print, because what you signed many, many years ago, even if you've been in the company for 10 years, 20 years, 5, whatever, what went before will be nullified by the new contract, okay? So make sure you have all the things that you agreed to or want to agree to in that contract. Some of you may need to negotiate a better deal. But I do see for a lot of you, this could be a period where there is some sort of raise or investment opportunity, like, commission or a token of appreciation. It could be a gift card for some of you. It just feels like something a little bit extra is coming your way and you feel it is warranted because you did go above and beyond. Now, if you work for yourself, a lot of you are like, that ain't coming my way. So you work for yourself, you do everything yourself, of course. A lot of you are under pressure. It's been hard, okay? You may have felt at times that the energy was against you. Very testing energy, but better fortune is happening for you. And there's a turning point happening for you over the next coming weeks that sets you up for a really prosperous 2026. It just feels like, things are going to start going in your favor, no matter what you're doing there. Now, of course, if you work for yourself, you may be giving yourself some sort of new pay grade, or you may be accessing new funds, dividends as well there. I feel some of you may find the right time to be able to do that. So a lot of you are calculating with that Justice energy, finances at this time, and what you can give to yourself, what you're going to save for yourself, and what you're going to portion off for spending. So I definitely see you compartmentalizing your finances. But the Wheel of Fortune, it indicates that there is change going on in your industry. There's definitely something new happening here. For a lot of you, this could be new rules, regulations, or policies, new things to sign. Of course, in the world that we live in right now, there's a lot of identity changes, verifications, and things like that going on. So you may have to deal with new software programs or new ways of doing things, maybe even signing into things occasionally just to prove that you're there working, or, proving your ability to work, your visas, passports, all of that stuff. I just feel with the Justice card, this is all connected to legal documents and proof within a legal system. So a lot of you could be dealing with that. I mean, if you work for a company or even for yourself, you know, there may be some computer software program that asks you for a new password just to keep it secure. Thanks so much. I'm so grateful. In the water, I'm seeing like a padlock, and a cat is sitting next to this padlock. Now, cats represent independence, and padlocks, of course, represent security. And I'm talking about security right now, so it could be that if you're an independent worker, keep your ideas to yourself at this time, you know, fly under the radar if you're starting up anything new. And of course, let the results shout for themselves. I feel like also this symbolically could be that some of you are thinking about launching your own business, becoming your own boss, or launching something new that perhaps will secure your future as an independent worker. Okay, but it could also be that you're secure. I mean, I'm thinking about the shield as well. It's just come through. Shield, badge of honor. I mean, some of you may be going into a career where services, for example, have shields, badges of honor, for example. So it could be something to do with that, or you're awarded in some way. But I feel in the working environment in general, there's more independence for you. So that can also mean more responsibility, but I feel it will be fair. The finances will reflect all the effort that you are putting in right now. But it could also be symbolically like it's time to secure your future. But I feel like you're on course to do that. Even if you're squirreling away a little bit of finances, doesn't matter how much, or even if you are just on top of your utility bills, spending habits at this time, I feel like you are being really disciplined, and there is some really good things for you to come with that Wheel of Fortune energy. It says, the future will yield an opportunity to change paths towards personal growth and happiness. You must be ready to change your ways of thinking. I feel like you're ready. You know, the Fool card is like, bring it on. I'm ready. I want this new journey. I want excitement. I want new opportunities. I'm ready to expand. I feel a lot of you are launching a new way of working, or you're just approaching your work in a different way. And I feel like you're ready for more prosperity, more growth in your industry. And it's almost like you have fresh ideas. You're very adventurous. You're very calculated in taking a new leap. So some of you, if you're out of work and you're looking for a new job, you could migrate your skills into an industry that actually pays more money or is more reflective of the effort that you're putting in. But I would say here that there is something to celebrate for you all. And with the Justice card, I feel like it is well earned. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that you deserve this, because deep down you know. You know how hard you have worked. The Justice card is a cause and effect. It's an energy of like you putting in all the effort and then watching the rewards happen for you. But a lot of you, as you can see, these are all storks there. So I feel like you've waited a long time for the success, or waited for a long time to action this new event in your career or new way of working, or you're revamping something. Like if you work for yourself, it could be that you are revamping your website, creating a new website, or, you know, revamping your brand, or getting some business cards out there ready for the new year. It's like you're ready to take on the new at this moment in time. But also if you work for a company, it could be there's new roles available, or there's new departments that are kind of like delegating extra responsibilities, and you're like, okay, bring it on. I know you're working really hard, and a lot of you are exhausted and feeling really stuck in a rut, but I feel that you want to keep things fresh because you're moving towards a target, and you're going to hit that target. You know, this Justice card energy indicates that you're focused on your goals, you're structured, organized, productive, serious, and, you know, you are working hard to get what you deserve in your industry. A lot of you as well, this is financial management. This is you with habit formation at this time. So it can be that, you know, as soon as a bill comes in, you're paying your bills, or you're getting things automated. The Justice card can connect to automation. So it could be that you're launching something that will literally take care of itself, or you've already done that and you're onto a new project. You may be setting things up that, you know, has a sense of duality. It complements what you're doing already. If you're an influencer online, for example, it could be that, you know, you are partnering up with a social media platform in order to market what you do or get your message out there. And also I feel there is an energy of not just marketing yourself. Even if you work for a company, this is you being seen. Okay, it's about you acknowledging that you work really hard, and therefore the rewards should reflect what you have worked hard to accomplish. And if they don't, I feel like a lot of you are taking your business elsewhere or your skill set elsewhere, because remember, you're the talent. Okay, I feel like you're young at heart and you're doing a lot of growth in your industry. You're looking to expand. No matter what age you are, I feel like you are someone who is the eternal student of life. You're open to learning new skill sets, new ways of working, and you just want to keep it fresh so that you are ahead of any competition or that you are relevant in your field. But also, I feel the Fool card indicates that you're always looking for new ideas to keep things interesting for you, okay? Now it says here, when all is said and done, you will receive the outcome that you truly deserve. Yes, absolutely. It says your moral character will be justified, so maintain integrity and strive to balance yourself. A lot of you, storks watch and wait. Watch and wait for the right opportunity. And a lot of you may be watching and waiting for the right moment to suddenly capitalize on something or launch something or put yourself forward for something. You may be applying for awards, bursaries, or you may be applying for some sort of legal structure for your business. Maybe some of you are learning about generational wealth and learning how to apply that knowledge in order to expand your reach financially and protect your finances. But also, the Justice card really is an energy of adapting to change, being flexible. I feel there's going to be a lot of changes going on in your industry, whether they are rules, regulations, or new ways of working. Maybe even a new piece of technology or kit may come in if you work for a company. And if you work for yourself, you may discover something that would really help you be more efficient, and you implement this. It's like you learn about it and it just helps you be more free in your energy to really adapt to the working environment in some way and do more things that you love doing. Okay, so the Justice card is an interesting card. Some of you may deal with legal documents or legal representation at this time. And I feel that things are going to work really well in your favor. If you're launching something, make sure you get the legalities. I would also say copyright, trademark, patent, if you are, very talented at creating something that has never been done before. If you are inventing something, I would definitely say patent it. But we got the King of Swords, deep in thought. That's your blueprint energy right there. You're thinking about something, or you've had something on your mind. You're calculating the best time to launch it, the best time to move forward with it. You have a lot of knowledge. You got the Fool card again. So this is an energy of you want to have fun in your industry, but also you want to utilize your knowledge and expand your mind, your skill set. You're calculating your finances. But the Fool card is when it's time to put fun on hold and when it's time to work. You kind of regulate yourself really well, because you're someone who's super ambitious. You're locked on, you're focused, you have the willpower, the drive, and the tenacity to work really hard, be faithful to your commitments, and make success your reality. Because, when you're consistent, consistency is the key. And I feel like you're someone who is consistent. Look at that Chariot card. You're about to upgrade your life. So I feel, you got the Wheel of Fortune as well. I am loving this. Scorpio, what is going on? You've got the Fool card twice. You've got the Wheel of Fortune twice. I feel this setup, as it were, for the new year, it's going to be your lucky break. I definitely see that fortune is on your side after a period of feeling like it's not. There's some sort of surprise coming your way, and I feel it requires your knowledge or your skill. And I feel like you're a pro at what you do. Three of Swords is in the reverse. It's hard work. It's hard work. Three of Swords is there when it indicates you have a lot on your mind, a lot on your to-do list, and it's highly pressurized. But, success requires hard work and sacrifice, and you're the sort of person who goes above and beyond. And I feel like you're going to secure your future and success, and there is an advancement here, achievement going on here, and you did this. You should be really proud of yourself, okay? So this is your protagonist energy. King of Swords indicates that you are calculating, you're judging where you feel like you're at right now. I feel like you're in a position of authority or power in your industry. I feel there's an energy of status with this, but I feel it's more this gravitas as to how you believe you are utilizing your skill set and what you feel about yourself. In any industry, there is always going to be someone who does not see your worth, and mainly it's out of jealousy or they feel like you could surpass them. But, you know, I always say, do not allow the person who does not see your worth be you. Okay, believe in yourself. This is you taking your career to the next level. I definitely see some sort of progress or upgrade going on here. You work really hard, something on your mind right now, or something that you've been analyzing. I feel like you're getting clear on the next moves. I'm actually seeing in the water right now a game of noughts and crosses. Now, this can be symbolic that you've made certain moves already, and now you're making some final moves in your industry, either to launch something new or embark on something new. I mean, with the King of Swords, some of you may feel like you've hit a plateau in your industry and you're sourcing new opportunities or new ways of working, new ways to progress in your industry, because you may feel like where you're at, there's no room for maneuver or no room for advancement. But I do see there is an energy here of, for some of you, if you work for a company, there could be a new hire who comes in, and this person, it's like they're all talk, okay? What am I? Oh my gosh, I'm being given a sentence by my guides. All the gear and no idea. Okay, I don't know what that means. I don't know what industry you work in. I'm just giving you what I can hear from my guides. But there's a person here, they're full of bluster. So if you work for a company, there could be someone who presents themselves as a bit of a know-it-all, but actually they coast. They're the sort of person where they're like, oh, I'm so busy. You know, I'm so busy, okay? And actually they're doing a whole lot of nothing. People are actually really busy. They're just focused and concentrated, and they really talk about it. They may occasionally go, my gosh, that was a busy day, or I got a lot on right now, so I can't have any distractions. But they're not like wandering around doing the, oh, that was a lot of hard work. I'm so busy. That's them deflecting. So there could be a new hire or someone who's brought in as a support mechanism there over the next coming weeks. I feel like you're going to be a little bit frustrated with this person. They're going to get on your nerves, right, with that card there. But I feel they're only temporary. Okay, so I would say, because I'm just being given it like this. If you work for a company and there's a new hire and you take umbrage with this person, like you really just can't believe they've been hired because they're doing a whole lot of nothing, I would say maybe discuss it in private with a governing body, HR, for example, and just say, I noticed this happened. Now, I can't tell for sure, but maybe it's something we need to keep our eye on. Not go in there and go, they're doing nothing, I'm doing all the work. You know, it's more about just noticing it and really responsibly and diplomatically, because this is a very diplomatic card, you know, not saying anything negative about this person, because we've got the Three of Swords in the reverse there. And I feel quite quickly that you're not the only person, but you've done it diplomatically, professionally, okay? And I feel that this is more powerful to just say, I've noticed this is happening and I can't be sure, but maybe it's something we need to be vigilant with or keep our eye on. That's a very clever way of saying this person, you know what, they're not pulling their weight. We need to just watch their work ethic because it's not happening right now, okay? So there's a way of you approaching something. Now, not all of you are going to experience that, but there is a potential for that, so I want you to be aware. Of course, if you run your own business, there could also be this energy of a person who is not pulling their weight, okay? If it's a new hire, again, I feel like you're going to see this pretty quickly and deal with this, so you may be letting someone go as soon as you have hired them. I hate to give you that message, but I feel like you do give this person a warning and then they just kind of like, you know, pull themselves together for a moment and then slip back into their old ways. I hate to give that message, but I feel like you could be giving them their marching orders and, you know, learning a lesson. You keep the lesson with you. But I also feel no matter who you are, there is a person in your industry or your working environment, even if you work for yourself, you could come across a person, you know, who either in a networking event or in some sort of circumstance, who confides in you about the industry and how hard it is. I mean, you understand that. You have the card of understanding and leadership there. So you've been keeping an eye, like you've been analyzing the industry and trying to remain on top of things, I would say you give this person a lot of advice, and that really helps this person stay afloat. Okay, so whilst you're not giving them your ideas, you may be giving them a very sort of analytical kind of assessment of where you feel things are going to, because you're the sort of person who can see the future. You see patterns, you see cycles, you see how things are going to pan out. So you could give someone some advice about, the industry. And this person, you're not doing it for this reason, but in the future, like way in the future, this person is going to remember a kindness. They're actually going to be very successful, and they're going to come knocking on your door or find you in some way in order to give you a token of appreciation or, some sort of alliance. Because I feel like you're going to be super successful, and so is this person, but they're never going to forget a kindness. So just be mindful of that, because I feel they are really coming at you in a raw way. They're really open, and they're really dealing with something that is super challenging. Okay. And I feel like you just help them on their way with a bit of advice. So again, I'm going to remove myself from this energy and back to you. King of Swords, you're calculating your finances, no matter who you are, whether you're looking for work right now, whether you're in a career, whether you are retired. For some of you, you may be wondering about your finances. If you're retired, I feel a lot of you, there's two energies coming through. I see a lot of you thinking about traveling, maybe even, having like a retirement home somewhere abroad, and this could be like your own abode, as it were, and you'll do a lot of traveling. But also I see a lot of you, you're so talented, so skillful at what you do, and I feel there is a talent here that you really haven't developed further or tapped into fully, that you've always been meaning to get around to doing. I actually feel like this talent is something you will develop, and it will be seen by a lot of people. So whether you just upload it on your social media, it could be uploaded on your private social media, and people want to purchase it. I feel like people will pay for your hobby or your talent, your gift. So I see some of you, I don't even want to call it semi-retirement, because I feel it's something that you enjoy for you, something you're gifted at, something you have fun doing. And I feel you could sell those things on, whatever that is. For some of you, it's writing, okay? It could be that you're putting your words down on paper, maybe creating stories. You have a very rich imagination. I mean, even if you're not retired right now, I feel a lot of you are looking at the power of your words. Words carry power. They carry weight, okay? And we create as we speak. Words are spells. They're literally cast out to the universe to attach to a vibration. So a lot of you are being very careful about the words that you utilize, but also you could be, giving a public speech for some of you in your industry, or you may be gravitating towards something that complements what you do already, where you talk about what you do. You could be writing a handbook, communicating to people about, you being a pro in your industry, the pitfalls, things to avoid, things to work out, things that you wish you had known when you started in your industry, because you got the Fool card. A lot of you could be deep in thought about your industry right now. So even if right now you're an accountant, or whether you are a fashion designer, whether you work in construction, no matter what industry you work in right now, a lot of you could be writing how-to or a course of learning to help others in some way. And it's a second stream of income. Swords connect to the ether. So it could be something that's online for you. And for some of you, you could be trying to start out on your own independent business, and you may be utilizing the internet or some sort of online platform, social media platform, to get your message out there, market yourself, or, say your piece on how you feel the industry is going, or, showcase your knowledge in some way, because you are a pro at what you do there. But ultimately, I feel at this time, no matter what you do, I feel like it's going to be very successful. You're going to see a lot of progression here. And I also feel like truth is everything to you, and you're being really honest with yourself about luck in general. I feel like actually you tend to make your own luck, but it's going to be very nice that some extra prosperity, some lucky breaks, and, some extra fortune is coming your way. We have the Wheel of Fortune there. So there's some nice surprises, but actually one of the surprises, because I feel there's two, one of them is something you think about, which highlights the power of your mind. But of course, with every thought, there is an action. And I feel like you are putting your thoughts into motion. And this is where your success lies, that you are dreaming of bigger opportunities. You're working really hard. You're not wasting your time. And I feel like you're making improvements. And I feel like you're kind of like moving out of Groundhog Day, a lot of you. So if you've been in an industry where it's the same old thing, just a different day, routine, habits, schedules, repetitive kind of energy there, I feel a lot of you are completing that cycle, of course. You are in a cycle with the Wheel of Fortune, but change is afoot. And I feel there's some extra things coming your way, and I feel there's a lot of prosperity. Some of you, if you have clients or customers, you may be surprised by tokens of appreciation, people really gifting you and acknowledging that, you know, you offer a great service. For some of you, if you work for a company, this could be a bonus, or you securing something, being able to save money. Some of you may literally be super surprised that you're going to save more money than usual at this time of year. So if you are gifting, it could be that you are, you know, changing the way that you gift, or for some of you, you could be calculating a certain amount, because the King of Swords is a calculation, and it could be that you're holding on to money. Remember, when you're gifting, the person just loves you. Okay? It's not about how much you spend. It's about how much time, the memories, the moment. That's the most important. Okay? But Wheel of Fortune, I'm excited about that because I feel like you're turning things around. There's a brighter future for you to look forward to there. And I feel things are ongoing. So a lot of you are going to be looking at developing your skills, researching. So you could also be looking at mindfulness in your industry, making sure you manage stress levels. Some of you could be journaling and having new ideas there to run with. I feel the way that you approach your career is actually going to help you succeed. It's like, even though you're a pro at what you do, you almost approach your industry or your career or your skills and talents like you are learning or just fresh and new. Number one, that keeps things exciting, but number two, it keeps you relevant in an industry and open to exciting new things. So I feel this card indicates that you are sticking to a plan, of course, but you're open to some exciting new developments. There is an energy here with this card of breaking a pattern. So a lot of you could be trying to launch something secondary or launch a new way of working so that you break free from a pattern. Because a lot of you with those Fool cards coming in, you just want to be free. Okay, and Wheel of Fortune is some prosperous energy to come that comes out of the blue. And I would say on a personal level, a lot of you are looking at, you know, cycles of repeat. So your direct debits, for example, ongoing payments, looking at your utility bills, making sure that you're getting a good deal for what you're paying out at this time, making sure everything is balanced, correct, and right, as it were. And of course, you've got that Wheel of Fortune there. So where you feel there was no luck, suddenly there is luck and opportunity coming. There's definitely something out of the blue here, a nice surprise. And it's offering a lot of optimism. Okay, it's destined to happen. And for some of you, it could be that you want to be more nomadic in your industry. So if you work for yourself, it could be you're freeing up your time, whether that's you outsourcing some of the things that you do or working in a different way that gives you more freedom. I definitely see a lot of you are trying to work a way towards being more free when it comes to your working environment or independent working opportunities that secure your future. So working on the go, contracts, and dipping in and out of work. Maybe, you know, you could have a conversation with a company that you work for. There may be some opportunities overseas or at a different branch, or you may be able to work from home or work from anywhere because you may be getting like new applications with the company that you work for online. So it could be something you can check in on the go because you do have that Chariot card, and the Fool card is like, you know, a lot of independence, no strings attached. You're not tied to any place. You could work anywhere. A lot of you are actually trying to work towards that or learn something, because I see a lot of you upskilling, maybe even learning a language. You could be utilizing language skills at this time, because I see a lot of skill development that's going to help you be more independent and free in your work. But if you like where you're at and you're like, no, I don't want to be nomadic, I want to know where I'm at, you could be, you know, utilizing a new way of working that just helps you be more efficient and get a lot more done. There's high energy stakes here, high vibes, and a lot of progress here as well. Some of you may even, you know, be upskilling as well as upgrading your finances and upgrading your car. I see a new car here for a lot of you. I feel this is a great car here with that Four of Pentacles. I feel with that Four of Pentacles, it indicates you'll pay, a substantial amount of money for it, but you may save because you'll get a car that's got a good deal there as well. Also, with the Fool card and the Three of Swords, there is an energy here of you encountering someone who says something that's a little bit off the cuff in the working environment, whether you work for yourself or for a company. I feel there could be a very challenging discourse, okay, between you and a person who's actually very immature, someone that you did not expect this from, though. You were unprepared for this careless comment. This person, I feel like they're struggling. They feel like perhaps opportunities are against them at this time. And it's almost like they're lashing out at you because they feel that you, no matter the circumstances, you're still successful. You're still pushing on through. They do not see the struggle that you're under. They do not see the setbacks that you've had to overcome or embark on new pathways. They do not see the blood, sweat, and tears that you have encountered in order to be where you feel like you're at right now. They just see the measure of the success. You know what you've been through to get to where you are right now, but this person doesn't see it. And they are exhausted and they're fed up and they are having a moment where they are breaking. Now, of course, nobody should be rude. Nobody should ever, take their mood out on someone else unfairly. Okay, but I do feel that this person will apologize in the future because they know that they acted out of character and also unfairly. Okay, this person will make amends. They want to make it right, and you will just move on with this. The relationship will be salvageable in the working environment, whoever this person is. But I feel like they're stuck, really stuck on something. And maybe this is the person that you actually give some advice to, but, I feel it's disconnected. So perhaps it's someone else there. But I feel, they need to come out of their comfort zone a little bit more. This is the sort of person who, they do things by the book. It's like, if it didn't go that way, I can't see out of the box. The box is the box, and they're in the box. And they're like, okay, it didn't work this way. It's supposed to work this way. I don't know what else to do. You're the sort of person who's like, okay, I see the box. I'm in the box. It's not working. Now I'm stepping outside the box. This is how it works. I'm being flexible. I'm being open to change. You're the sort of person who can strategize and work with what you've got, but this other person cannot. So, I feel there's a moment of you kind of like addressing a power play or addressing someone who potentially is acting out of character. And I feel like you may very diplomatically, but very directly, there's a lot of power in a King of Swords that says, excuse me, don't talk to me like that. And I feel like you may put this person diplomatically or, professionally in their place, but they really respect that. You're doing what is right. And if anyone is bullying you or singling you out, you're taking it to a higher governing body there. Okay, and I feel that, things will be corrected and the relationship will be salvageable. That's what I'm seeing. So just be mindful. It may take some time. Now, as I mentioned, it's going to be hard work. Three of Swords, it's challenging, it's difficult, and the Fool card can indicate you're trying to activate something new and it's really hard. I would say that during a Mercury retrograde, which is what we're experiencing right now, if you're launching something new, even if it's new technology, I would say just be mindful. It's not that you shouldn't buy anything or start or launch anything during a Mercury retrograde. It just means that there can be delays or issues or having to revisit something. And I feel a lot of you, there may be a mistake that someone does that infuriates you. But I feel that King of Swords, you're very rational about it. You're being very detached from it. You're just get it sorted. Okay, so I feel a lot of you, there's this energy of holding back and being diplomatic about it until it is resolved. But again, I would say if you can wait to launch something or activate something or move forward on something or purchase something electronic, I would say try and wait until the Mercury retrograde is over. If you can't, then of course, there may be something that you have to return or something that you'll just have to do over. For example, frustrating for a moment, but it's not going to be anything truly negative. So I want you to be aware of that. Three of Swords in the resistance position is kind of really positive. It means that, you've been working really hard and this is a period of recovery. So if financially things have not been going very well, this is a period of recovering. So it can be that you're going to be surprised that this period where the year is winding down and, it's gifting season or party season for some, it can be that you're like, there's no way I'm going to be able to save any finances. However, Four of Pentacles indicates that you're very savvy with your finances, you're making it work, you're utilizing anything that you can in order to protect your finances and hold on to more than you spend. So you may actually save a little bit more money than you actually expected this month there as well. Now the Chariot card, very busy, pushed and pulled in many different directions. December is actually going to be a very busy month for you, especially as you start to close out the year. You're ramping up the activity. One more final push there. The Chariot card is, success. It is triumph. It is you being self-assured. It is you advancing. So I would say a lot of you, there could be an appraisal or a meeting if you work in a company, talk about advancement in your industry or where you're going to take things to next, and that being set up for the next year. If you are deciding to launch your own business, I feel like you move ahead with that, legally structuring it, getting it set up, and maybe even starting it, getting it up and running there. And I feel it's going to bring in some nice money as you start to close out the year. A lot of you may also be doubling down on your wealth, utilizing something that complements what you do already. As I said, a handbook or a course of learning or a how-to, or maybe just a blog or something that sees you talk or influence the way the industry goes. You have something powerful to say because you have a lot of experience. And I feel this could be something that brings in more money there for you as well. But the Chariot card indicates you're keeping a tight rein on your finances. You're taking control of your finances, but also taking control of your career because you have a vision of where you want to take things to next. A lot of you signing papers, look for hidden clauses, especially if you're purchasing anything, especially if it's Mercury retrograde, okay, because there could be delays or do-overs. In the water, I'm actually seeing as well a clock and a sand timer. So a lot of you could be under the clock at the end of December. You're going to manage it though. You've got a nice tempered, measured pace there. You're very detached. It's like you got stuff to do. You're on it. You are focused, organized, disciplined, and it requires an extra effort to close out the year, but you leave on a high. You did this. So there's going to be two things, as I said, to celebrate, two sudden opportunities, two fortuitous moments of prosperity there, whether it's news, information, an award, or some extra finances coming in there, a bonus or a small increase there, maybe even a promotion. But I'm looking at the energy. It's like more than anything, there could be a new department or sidestep for some of you in your industry, or you're taking things somewhere else. You could be bringing your skill set elsewhere, looking for new opportunities, because the Chariot card is like you're on the move. And I do feel like your dedication is going to see you commit to victory and success, and you're going to have a lot of energy there, and there is some sort of appreciation with this. But I also feel like it's ongoing. So you could be setting something up that's ongoing. It's almost like you don't close out the year. It's like you're still working. You're still kind of like progressing where everybody else is like taking a bit of a downtime. You're like, okay, next thing I need to do, next thing on my list. You're going to give yourself a moment to pause and have fun. There's definitely fun here. I can also see some of you could be networking or some sort of fun event that brings people together, and they actually admire you. There may be one person who actually says it. Other people admire you from a very silent distance, shall we say, because they wish it was them. But you're taking things to the next level. So I would say a lot of you may also be squirreling yourself away to work on new projects without any distractions so that you can advance or move faster in your industry. You just want to be more efficient with whatever it is that you're doing. And any skill development at this time is going to help you advance quite quickly in your industry there too. Now we've got the Four of Pentacles as your final card. This indicates you saving money. It also indicates you're hanging on to money, but also you're making sure that life does not pass you by. Life is for living, of course. You're going to be able to enjoy some of your money. You may be gifting yourself or treating yourself to a little something, something. For some of you, it's a car. For others, it may be, a luxurious item or something you've been thinking about for some time there. I do see you being very measured, though, finding a discount, not purchasing the first thing that comes along. You're like, I'm going to hold out for the sales or a deal that's coming out there as well. But the Four of Pentacles is the foundation. So it really feels like you're building your empire, but you've been laying the foundation for a couple of years now, and now you're about to expand on it or springboard towards more there. I also feel like you're taking ownership of your tasks and responsibilities and recognizing that nothing is permanent, but you're setting yourself up in a way that means that you're secure or you're attached to a plan that is going to work and it is sustainable. And I feel like you've got this. And I feel, you're sort of person who abundance will always be available to you because you always find a way. But I feel right now that you are the catalyst for change and you are kind of like building a financial future that you're going to be so proud of. I mean, this is a card of you calculating all your possessions, concentrating on bringing in more money. If you've been feeling stagnant, I feel this is about you doing new things. Again, the Chariot card is two different directions. So it's like you doing two things, but you're co-aligning your energy, you're invested, and the goal is still the same. Prosperity, security for you and your family. For some of you, this could also be that you're saving for property, real estate, or you're going into real estate, or there's a move going on here for you. And for some of you, if you work for a company, this could be like an office move or a department move or a branch move, some sort of business premises move there that you will have to recalibrate. You're going to have to work all through it, so it could be a little bit distracting there. But I feel like you're on it. You're going to be fine. But some of you, it can be that there's a personal move that you're saving for, and you may find the property of your dreams during this period as well. But ultimately, I feel like you're staying the course. You're advancing. There is achievement here, two things to celebrate. It's a bit of a juggling act. I do feel like, true power doesn't shout. It moves in silence and it strikes with precision. And I really feel that's something that you're doing right now because the Fool card is like, okay, let's see where this goes. I'm excited about embarking on a new pathway or a new way of doing something. It's a time for optimism, excitement, and, not really knowing how something's going to work out, but you have the smarts. You're very talented, very gifted at what you do. And then we've got that Wheel of Fortune, which means luck is on your side there. And of course, we have the Justice card energy, which means things work out because you're putting in the effort there as well. We've got branching out, we've got success, and my guides want me to go one more, so I will. We've got intuition and we've got vigilance. Okay, so branching out, expanding your reach. So a lot of you trialing new things, that definitely came out there for you. It says more work, side hustle. I did mention that. Scorpio, what is it with us? It's like more work. It's like it's never ending. Come on already. But I feel this is something that you're going to enjoy, something that flows really nicely for you. New ideas, franchise, and roots. Planting new roots, property elsewhere, but also really firmly establishing your reputation in your industry as someone who is a go-getter, a goal setter, an achiever, and someone who's destined for the top. You're already really successful in what you do, but there's more to come, and I feel like you're there for it. We've also got success, brilliant ideas. Okay, definitely you are full of ideas, and it says shining at work, great pay, promotion, invention, and create. So you're creating new pathways for yourself as well. We've got intuition, beautiful owl. I feel like you've been waiting, watching, very vigilant, looking at your industry to see what it needs more of. Is there a gap that perhaps you're going to be filling? But it says here, hidden knowledge. Yeah, secrets at work, new talents, night shift, record keeper. If there is anyone singling you out, bullying you, or doing anything negative in the working environment, keep a document of everything. Time, dates, what was said, proof, if you need to take it to a governing body or you're going through illegality regarding this. But I feel, hidden knowledge is you upskilling in order to utilize that knowledge so you can be ahead of the competition or make moves that other people are just not making in the working environment. And of course, some of you may be taking seasonal work or night work. I think I felt that right at the beginning. I can't really remember now. So many things are hitting me with the energy all at once. So it's hard to remember sometimes because I'm accessing a different part of my brain and the frequency when I'm channeling as well as remembering they're two different places. And I can really feel my brain going, gear shift, when I'm trying to move into the memory part. But I think right at the beginning, it was like you're doing something extra. Maybe you're working extra hours or longer, or you're changing your work. It's like if you're doing it during the day, you may be doing it during the night. I'm not sure, but that definitely came up there. We've also got vigilance. Okay, and it says here, looking for opportunities. Keep going, don't quit, make your own luck. That definitely came out in your reading as well. And the path is lit. Yes, Scorpio, the path is lit. 2026, I can't believe I'm talking about it, but it is lit for you. This year may have been a bit of a doozy. It was hard, lots of flexibility required, lots of gear shifts, lots of like, 2 steps forward, 4 steps back. But next year, the pathway is a lot clearer for you and a lot more prosperity there as well. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune. I feel a lot of you have been dealing with change. So finally, we got the scales. Balancing things out, 2 things, weighing up your options, but also making sure everything aligns. There's reciprocity there. This connects to the Justice card. Again, it's highlighting that all the effort you put in, it's going to come back to you tenfold with rewards, and you're on course to receive that. Also, some of you may be dealing with legalities or need to double check contracts and things, so make sure you do that as well. But most importantly, equal opportunities in your working environment and making things more fair. That's the energy of the frequency that you're attracting right now and tapping into. And I feel it's going to give you a sigh of relief and a breath of fresh air. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that, my beautiful Scorpio, for you. Thank you so much, and love and light.